And I decided to stop doing what was working for me. Unfortunately, I got caught up in the anti-diet culture, message that's going around where it's like all foods fit and no such thing as bad foods and you should be able to eat everything in moderation. And I'm like, yes, like my sugar addicted brain was like, yes, I love hearing this. I'm like,
Hi there, my name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant, and today our guest is Courtney Luna. She has a new book, and it's so amazing. It's called Carnivore in the Kitchen. She has lots of tips for women that are trying to lose weight. Also, she has lots of recipes for pizza, ice cream, also chicken nuggets. So amazing. If you're finding the carnivore diet boring, which is one of the main things that people say about the carnivore diet, is that they get bored, they need variety. This is what you need, the Carnivore in the Kitchen. So she's going to be talking all about her new book and how to lose weight and lots of tips and tricks for staying carnivore over the long term. She lost about 50 pounds doing the carnivore diet, and she has 2 kids that are really young, and she's doing it all. She's amazing. So stay tuned for the whole interview coming up. This book has how to get started on carnivore, shopping lists, meal plans, and so much more. This is a great gift for the holidays, so you can pre-order it now in the description box below. Hi, everyone. My name's Caitlin. I'm from grassfedgirl.com, and I'm so excited today. We have a guest. It's Courtney Luna. She has an amazing carnivore story to share with us. She's a cookbook author and a at-home chef, and she's amazing. So welcome, Courtney Luna.
yay, thanks for having me. I'm excited to chat with you this morning.
I'm sure people will learn a lot from this, so leave your questions down below and stay all the way to the end for lots of knowledge bombs about the carnivore diet and getting healthy, especially for women and moms. So tell us your story, Courtney. How did you get started with the carnivore diet? I know you had a big transformation.
Yeah, so I had a long history of yo-yo dieting, like 25 years. I think I got a little bit closer to health when I found paleo about like 10 years ago. I found Mark Sisson's Primal Blueprint. And that's also like when I found you too, like in the paleo space. And then I went to keto on and off for 7 years. So a couple years ago, I had my second baby and I gained 50 pounds, lost it with keto. And then I decided to stop doing what was working for me. Unfortunately, I got caught up in the anti-diet culture, message that's going around where it's like all foods fit and no such thing as bad foods and you should be able to eat everything in moderation. And I'm like, yes, like my sugar addicted brain was like, yes, I love hearing this. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and eat croissants in moderation. The first week actually went okay. I did have some croissants. I was able to stop when I was full. I lost 2 pounds, but then I just spiraled from there. I'm an addict. I can't just moderate sweets. I gained 40 pounds in 4 months, which is just like every time I say it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's hysterical and it's sad at the same time. So I was once again in a really low place and insanely overweight, depressed, anxious. My skin was a mess. And at the time, my husband was sending me Dr. Paul Saladino's TikToks, and for about a month, and we didn't talk about it. And one day I'm like, why are you sending me these? Should we not be eating vegetables? I'm like, that's so weird. He's like, I don't know. I need to do some research. So he goes to YouTube University. And, one day we're just like, let's give it a shot. Let's try carnivore. And yeah, it's been the best thing I have ever done. I didn't know all the health benefits I would have. I was going at it from like a weight loss perspective yet again. I think I always equated a healthy body, just you're thin, you were healthy. I didn't know that I would, heal my depression. I was able to go off of meds, my acne cleared up, my relationship with food changed. I'm once you remove those sugary foods, you don't have the desire to have them anymore. So yeah, it's been life-changing for me and it's been a little over 2 years now.
That's amazing. So you lost the baby weight with keto, but then you got stuck with the anti-diet message.
Yep, and gained it all back.
And that's funny because keto is not that different from carnivore, but it made a big difference going from keto to carnivore for you.
Yeah, in hindsight, realizing that I'm an abstainer and not a moderator. So my husband, he's carnivore. He can have something off plan and get back at it the next day, won't give it another thought. If I have a donut today, I would probably spiral into a binge and it would just be like disastrous for me. So knowing that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why keto didn't work for me, at least how I did it. I probably didn't do it properly because I was having the keto treats. I think that's what kind of kept this vicious cycle going of these sugar cravings. If I just did, you know, meat and vegetables, that probably would have been a lot better. But keto treats were allowed and they had a hold on me. And I didn't get it, knowing now what I know, like it kind of all makes sense. But so that's kind of why carnivore works best for me is it's just removing, all those sweeteners. And yeah, it's been great.
So why does like eating intuitively and those kinds of ideas, and why are they so pervasive, and why don't they work? Do they work for some people?
Yeah, I think some people can intuitively eat, but maybe my hunger cues are broken. Like I like to eat. I'm a volume eater. I can easily eat, 3, 4,000 calories a day on carnivore. So I just at least right now I can't intuitively eat. Maybe if I was just really keeping it simple with meat and eggs, I feel like there's kind of a cap on that, but what becomes a slippery slope for me is like the bacon and the yogurts, like things that you can eat when you might not be totally hungry. But those things keep this way of eating sustainable. Like I can't just do meat and eggs. Like that's not going to be, I need to have a little bit of fun and eat, a little bit for pleasure and not just for fuel.
I think also when it sounds like you're kind of a foodie like me. My husband's a chef, and um, so it's hard to not have any kind of, or just feel like you're stopping cooking, like you're stopping being a gourmet or something like that. Is like hard to just have a burger patty and that's it, you know?
Yeah, and having like the dairy and the other stuff, like that's a big part of like what keeps this way of eating like creative. I mean, there's different things you can do with, just meat, but that dairy just kind of, kicks things up a notch to be able to, make some fun and creative things.
Yeah, I bet you have some great Instagram reels with recipes. So everybody check out her Instagram with fun recipes. So have you tried, so tell us your weight loss, and do you cut calories? Do you count macros? Everybody has a different way of doing carnivore.
Yeah, so I definitely have to track. I've lost 55 pounds so far. The first 45 pounds were fairly easy. It was done in like 10 months, stalled out a little bit, lost the 10, and I'm currently struggling to get that last bit off. I mean, I probably have maybe like 10 pounds to go, and it's just hard for me. A lot of people, I feel like, well, maybe not a lot, but for me, it seems loud. The people that are like, oh, I just woke up and I was at my goal weight, or I forgot to eat. And now I'm, like it just seems so easy for some people when I know that's not totally the case. I do hear a lot of, comments and messages about how other people are struggling as well. But yeah, getting off these last few, like, and that's why I have to track because I could easily eat way more than my body actually needs. So I am currently working with a coach right now, Coach Nat. And so she's helping me with my lifting program and also giving me my macros. Yesterday, kind of, I went past those macros a little bit. It happens from time to time, but yeah, just really trying to like dial it in and stick with it and hope for the best because I'm sick of being in weight loss mode. Like I just want to get to maintenance mode. I can do maintenance mode intuitively. Like if I don't track and I just, eat what I want but be mindful, like I can stay at my weight, but for me I can't intuitively eat and lose weight.
So what does a typical day of food look like for you?
Well, this morning I had a big chunk of butter and some bacon. I'm trying to bring meals back into the morning time. I just had some labs done and I'm slightly leptin resistant. And I've always been one to push my fasting off till later. I feel like once I eat breakfast, it kind of opens the floodgates for eating for the day. It's harder for me to stick to my macros. But I also wonder if it's like that because I do have some leptin resistance. So I'm trying to like fix my hunger cues. So I'm having breakfast again, trying to stop eating earlier, like just shift my fasting window that way. So that was a long
So, so,
explanation to
so
what?
quitting, so maybe stop having an earlier dinner.
Yeah, like I like a good like maybe 11ish to 6 o'clock window, but I'm reading that it might be better to pull it back like 8 to 2, which is hard. It's hard to stop eating at 2 and you still have like 6 hours left of your life to live that day and not eat. Like I'm an emotional eater, so that's hard for me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
eating
so
dinner with your family is, you know, some people
yeah,
like
that's
that.
yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out. So I am trying to play around with having breakfast again. So I had that this morning. And today I already logged my macros. So I'm keeping it simple. I'm going to have a bunch of, I got the really thinly sliced New York strip from Costco. I think they call it shabu shabu. It's like for hot pot. But I fry mine up. So I'm going to have that with some egg white wraps. Sounds very boring. I'm having a very simple, boring eating today. But yeah, just lots of burger patties and steaks. And once in a while, I'll do, one of my fun recipes just to keep things interesting for the family.
Now, have you ever done like the lion diet or something for a month or?
I tried 30 days. After 3 weeks, I still kept the dairy out, but I'm like, I need something else. So I had like chicken wings and salmon. It was hard to just do beef.
Yeah, I've done it, but only I had coffee still. Everything else
Oh,
was
okay.
just beef and coffee.
Yeah, I actually gave up coffee for that time. And I remember having like horrible headaches, like definite caffeine withdrawal.
Oh, I would have to do like green tea or something because I would get such bad headaches. Um, so when you say macros, like what? Like you're still doing zero carbs and then what? I mean, I know macros are individual, but people still want to know like what.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm always curious what people's macros are too. Um, so I'm not at zero carb actually. I will have, I mean, some days I am, but like some days I'll have some yogurt or some milk, which has carbs, and even eggs have trace amounts. But my macros are allowing me up to, we just changed it to 15, which once in a while I will have a carnivore bar that has honey in it. So that gives me 7 right there. But yeah, my protein, I'm around 160 and my fat is around like 120. And that seems, to work if I stick with it. When I first started, I was equal fat and protein. So I was 130 grams of fat, 130 grams of protein. And that worked well for me too until it didn't. I think you kind of have to like change it up sometimes. Your body gets used to it. And then the whole reverse dieting stuff comes into play. I don't know. I feel like it's so half of it doesn't even make sense to me because then it's like, here's your macros, but then your movement is different each day. And I don't know. It's all, I don't get it. And it's frustrating.
Yeah, I think like for me, it's like I hit a point where it's like I guess there's limits of what I'm willing to do. You know, it's like I'm not willing to count macros and eat zero carb and have for me, I cannot lose 1 pound if I eat any dairy. Like I have to eat zero dairy. So right there, that's already, suck fest. So it's like, okay, so then on top of that, I'm not doing macros, like because I know because I do this for autoimmune mainly, Of course, we all want to lose weight, but mainly it's autoimmune for me, and I just can't. And for some reason, dairy just makes me so bloated. And even I've discovered egg whites, so I can't eat those egg white wraps. I will just like I love them. I'll eat them just like with sticks of butter, in the middle, one stick of butter.
Uh-huh.
But even butter, I can't moderate. I can't control it. I will just eat it like in even especially coffee or just to put like, a whole bunch in my eggs and stuff. So anyway, um, I'm glad that you can lose weight with a little more variety. That's great. I'm jealous.
It definitely makes
Okay.
things easier.
But when you did to cut out dairy, did it seem to help or not? Not, it didn't make a big difference.
I mean, I've done also BBBE for a month and I lost weight and then also like the lion diet. So yeah, I mean, it does help, I guess, or maybe it's because I'm finally like when I did those challenges, like reeling things back in. Like I think maybe things just got a little like I was just eating too much because yeah, especially like with the first 45 pounds, I kept it very simple and I was having raw cheese and raw kefir every day and losing the 45. So yeah, everyone's just different and sometimes I can overdo it and I feel like I can feel like the inflammation it's, holding on to in my body. But yeah, it's been okay for me in small portions.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like, I can't seem to do a small portion. Like, especially when I was pregnant, I ate like tubs of goat yogurt like every day. I was like to sit there like in front of the TV, like eating goat yogurt. And so yeah, I also gained 50 pounds when I was pregnant. And I was at a really good weight before I got pregnant. So I'm only 8 pounds away from that. So I'm really getting
Nice.
getting close. Okay, so tell us more about, you said weightlifting and stuff. What are you doing there?
Yeah, I'm like 4 weeks in. I mean, 4 weeks into being consistent. I've lifted weights on and off. And so, but just yeah, starting to work with Nat. I'm there five days a week, six. Now I can't even remember. Um,
This is in person.
I'm going to the gym, but it's online coaching. Yeah, so we're on Build Courtney a Booty sort of plan. So I have like 3 different leg days going on and then push and pull as well. Um, I don't love it. I'm starting to see results. Like I'm not one of those people who are like, yes, like I love lifting weights, I love working out. I've played soccer all my life, so I felt like that was a little bit different because it's a game, but I'm still like, okay, like have to push myself to go to the gym. But I'm starting to see shifts. I have some biceps that are coming out. So it's like, okay, if I don't want to go to the gym, the only thing that's motivating me is like, it's actually working. So I need to do it. And yeah, I feel better and like the body composition is changing. So I just need to stick with it, even though I don't want to.
I think for me, like I shifted because I used to be a personal trainer for 7 years, and then it was all about aesthetics and stuff, and now it's more like mental health and like feeling like, when you feel that overwhelmed feeling like you have so many things to do, it's like it kind of pushes that down a little bit. And so I'm like, okay, this is more for just like keeping myself from freaking out or something, Like
Yeah.
if I do that, then I feel like, okay, I can handle the other stuff in my life or something. But also, you hear about osteoporosis and, it's getting older. You're just like, got to um, you lose muscle and, those things are just on my mind a lot. And it's like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing, I mean, besides diet, to protect any muscle that I do have left.
Yeah. And that's the thing with working out. It's like I'm an instant gratification kind of person, and you don't get that with lifting weights. Like you really have to be patient to see things. And yeah, like you said, we're doing this for like our future 80-year-old selves, like lifting weights is so great for bone density and then also to build that muscle to protect the bones. Like you don't want to be 80, fall and break a hip. Like that could be, devastating. So that's why we definitely have to lift weights. And yeah, like the mental health side of things, for sure, it makes a difference with that too.
And I mean, I think you can get it from any kind of physical or especially outside stuff, walking. Of
Hmm.
course, I'm sure you do a lot of outside activities too for the sunlight and all that. Are you into
Yeah.
that sunlight thing?
Yeah, I try and I'm trying to be better about getting that morning light too before I get on my phone. But uh, there's so many little things I feel like we need to be doing to have optimal health that it kind of gets a little overwhelming. So I'm kind of just picking and choosing some things and like slowly building those habits right now.
Yeah, you have to like just get rid of your family and just start to just live alone in like a yurt so that you can do
Exactly.
self-care all day and like
Yep.
kill your own animals and walk around barefoot.
Yep.
Um, so what do you say to people who say, well, this isn't sustainable, you're not going to be able to do this for long term?
Yeah, I'm maybe they're right. I don't know, but this is the best I've ever felt, and this is the one thing, the only thing that I've been able to consistently stick to. Constant yo-yo dieting. Whenever I lost the weight, I would gain it right back. So the fact that, yes, I may not be to my goal weight, but I've maintained my loss for 2 years now, like I've never done that before. So for me, it feels sustainable, and I don't see, I mean, I'm always open-minded to if something's not right, then I will make some changes. But I don't see how adding in like a banana or anything is going to change my life for the better right now. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'll test my labs to make sure everything's going great. But yeah, I love eating this way. Like I know some people are like, oh, I'm just so bored. It's like I cannot wait to fry up those little thin pieces of steak later. Like my mouth is watering just thinking about it. So for me, I love eating this way. Like nothing feels forced. I'm happy each day to do it and I look forward to it. So yeah, I mean, so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the fact that you don't have to be hungry is the most sustainable thing for me because every other diet I ever did, I was hungry or the foods, spiked my blood sugar and then that made me more hungry, things like that. And also that it's, high fat or, moderate fat or whatever. So you're not like, it feels satisfying, every meal feels satisfying. So that is why I think it is sustainable. And especially for people that are not moderators, like I cannot moderate anything other than like water. I don't know. But so I think when you tap into that and you realize, okay, I'm not a moderator, then this is the best thing I think for uh especially people who, I mean, women who have grown up, in the 90s and and before that, it's just always about cutting your fat, eating margarine, and all those negative things that we grew up with. And just the starches are fat free, so you can eat all you want of starches, things that are really messed up. So, and we're trying to heal all that damage, right?
Yep. Yeah, we need that fat. Our hormones need that fat. And yeah, I think it's all about just finding what level of fat that is for you. I know like some people thrive on a high fat carnivore diet where their protein's a little bit lower and their fat is through the roof. But they feel good that way and they're even able to lose weight that way. So yeah, I mean, we definitely, I think, got to figure out the fat amount that works best for us, but we need it. Like nobody is thriving having like 40, 50 grams of fat. Like you just won't feel good. So we need to have it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't feel right on high fat. It's like I feel like hungry or something.
It's a small amount of volume of food. If you're doing high fat macros, like it's not like I was actually even talking about this last night and I plugged it into my macro calculator to see what high fat is. And it would be like a pound of ground beef and a stick of butter. And that's it for the day. Like that right there was like 1,800 calories. So if it's not a lot of volume, and I mean, I could eat that in one meal and then eat that again later. So yeah, you just got to find what works for you. Some people need to have that more protein to feel satisfied.
Yes, meat. I can eat like 2 pounds of ground beef. I don't have to have the butter, but I have to have the 2 pounds of ground beef. Um, okay, so tell us some more about your recipes and what you're doing with that.
Yeah, so it comes out October 1st. I should be getting copies like any day. They should be sending me my author copies, which is so exciting. And yeah, so it's a cookbook, but there's also excuse me, fumbling on my words. Also, some other things in there. So there's a Carnivore 101 section where we kind of just talk about how to get started. We talk about macros. There's a lot of, let's see, there's meal plans, there's grocery lists, there's stuff about like kitchen utensils. And then as far as the recipes, yes, there's a lot of dairy because that helps make it, sustainable. But I'm very aware that a lot of people don't eat dairy on this, way of eating. So there are some lion diet things in there or dairy free. So just some simple, like how to cook a fillet, how to do like a chuck roast. Trying to think what other like lamb lollipop. So there are some like simple things like that. And yeah, it was a labor of love. I don't know how people crank out 8, 10 cookbooks. I mean, have you done more than one?
I mean, I have one printed cookbook and then I have a couple of ebooks.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, you get it. Like it's just I cried a lot. It's a lot of work. And I might be like a one-hit wonder with this. I don't know if I'll do it again or maybe the ebook route because yeah, it was a lot. But like I'm so glad to have done it and like I can't wait to hold it in my hand.
I mean, I know there's some carnivore cookbooks or carnivore books out there like Maria Emmerich has one and then Sean Baker, but how is yours different?
Yeah, I'm not totally familiar with Maria's. I feel like from what I saw that maybe she doesn't even have dairy in hers. So yeah, just different recipes and I don't even know if Baker's has recipes. I think his is more of a like a how-to. So
So
I
this
guess it
is
kind of
kind of like more for people who maybe have already started but just want some more variety.
yes, yeah. So like the little tagline on it is helping you keep carnivore creative and sustainable.
Awesome. Well, it's a good time to put out a cookbook because people are like Christmas shopping and
Yes.
it's a good time to pre-order because then it will come to you and you can put it under the tree and all that. So it's a good time to have a cookbook. Mine came out in October in 2014. That
Okay.
was a good time also. So, where can people get it at?
Yeah, so it's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Target, Walmart, and Indie Bound. So the name's Carnivore in the Kitchen. And yeah, you don't have to be carnivore to get it. You just need to eat meat. So if you're keto, low carb, or even standard American diet and you want more protein in your diet, it's a great way to do that.
Yeah, and I think it's also just bringing it more to women because I mean, I know it's for everyone, but like I think women are the most afraid of like eating meat and eating a lot of protein and they think it's not feminine and stuff. So I think anything where you can bring more moms and stuff and women, young women into eating more meat, they're going to realize the health benefits and, make it more accessible to them. So I think that's wonderful. And it's not just like butchers or something, that can eat carnivore or include more meat in their diet. It's for everyone to feel better. And, I think we have a crisis of nutritional deficiency, even though people they're over fat, but they're still undernourished. So, I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing. So tell everyone where they can follow you and see all your recipes and everything.
Yeah, so it's Courtney Luna on everything, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Pinterest, YouTube. I guess is that everything? Yeah, come on to Instagram, slide into my DMs, say hi, and yeah, thanks so much.
Well, awesome. Just leave any questions down in the comments and we'll answer them. We really appreciate you watching. Please share this with a friend who might help and leave a thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.